John, how important was that par save on 14 to keep the back nine clean?
14 or 15?
15.
15, sorry.
Yeah, because I saved par in both of them. That one on 15 was huge. Didn't make my worst swings of the day and ended up having 30 feet for par, right? So to make that, having a birdie hole coming up is always a big deal.
So
but I had accepted making a bogey. Let's just say that. I put it in a bad position off the tee, and I accepted that a 5 was not a bad score. So, it's sometimes you make them like that.
excuse me there, kind of jumped in, but you super fast start, faster finish, and then in between it was shaky at times, and you held it together with that, and you got an up and down one on 11 maybe that was real good. What's the key to doing that, and how have you evolved over time to be that patient?
I took advantage of the good swings, right? I put myself in a really good spot on one off the tee, took advantage with a wedge in my hand. I can say the 2 shots on 2 and 17, to have a combined 6 feet in those 2 holes, it just doesn't happen. I hit 2 really good shots and landed in a very precise spot. Colin landed his maybe 10 feet more on the green than mine on 2, and he was over the green, right? I mean, we're playing with some really small margins today and took advantage of those. And it's not like it was shaky in between. Man, I feel like I played a pretty good round of golf. It's just not easy.
Yeah,
those fairways are getting firmer, and they're not easy to hit, and when you miss the fairway, you're going to be chopping it out of the rough and hoping for dear life, right? But even in between, I did have a lot of good looks for birdie. I played really good golf today, and I took advantage of the 3 or 4 missed opportunities, missed fairways and greens really, really well, except on 8, which, it is what it is, right? But even if I didn't make many birdies in between, it was a good round of golf.
I was complimenting your patience more than anything, honestly.
You just come out here and you have to take it very, very much as stages, right? Obviously, you have to put it in the fairway, and once you put it in the fairway, what hole are you on, right? Do you have is it a number you can be aggressive with, a shot you can be aggressive with or not? And that's what I think I did really well, right? Even when I was in the fairway, I picked my battles. I didn't go for 8 on 6 on 2. I gave myself a wedge shot. It's just, I'm trying to think of another one. I was maybe a little bit more passive than I could have been on 11, just because of what could be if you get too aggressive on those holes, right? So it's just how it is out here. You pick your battles and hope you can birdie the ones you pick.
Jon, you said it's not easy, but obviously you've been making it look easy here pretty much all year. Is it easier, though, than it was for you last year, say, maybe when you struggled a little bit more, or is it still just as difficult?
I think the only difference between some of my rounds last year and this one was just putting. I'm thinking 4 days I made a single putt out here and made my fair share today. Yeah. I've been putting a lot better this year, but from good putting to bad putting is the smallest difference imaginable, right? So especially on these greens. I mean, these greens can get difficult very quick.
How comfortable are you at this golf course?
As comfortable as one can be at times. Some holes were very, very comfortable. Others are obviously very nerve-wracking, right, at times. So
Which was
as comfortable as one can be.
Which was better for you, the first 3 holes or the last 3 holes?
I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if I'm going to be as picky as possible, I struck it and hit better quality shots on the first 3. But that's just being nitpicky. I mean, I healed my 3-wood on 18, right? I slightly overfaded my 5-iron on 16, and then that's about it. That's all I can say. I mean, it's just, if we're being picky, they're both obviously extremely equal. If I go by difficulty of holes, I think the last 3 holes obviously take it.
Jon, 5 wins, your last 9 worldwide starts, all top 10 finishes. You were asked this week, if you are clicking on all cylinders, can anybody beat you? You said no. So the question is, right now, do you feel like you're clicking on all cylinders?
No.
What needs to improve?
God, go through the round and you'll see plenty of mistakes. I just took advantage of, let's say I minimized the mistakes and converted a couple situations into really good scores, but it can always be better. But it's the first day. Come on, ask me that on Sunday if I keep playing like this, and I'll probably change my answer.